Hey divas, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a story time on how I got started with my makeup journey. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have noticed that today's makeup is a little more dramatic. We've got a little bit of smoky liner going on. I actually did this makeup yesterday, but it did not turn out like this. It was a little tragic, in fact. But if you want a tutorial on this look, let me know because I had so much fun creating it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so let me set the stage for you. It's summer of 2016, so I'm going about my summer like a regular 16-year-old, doing whatever 16-year-olds do in the summertime. I overhear my dad talking to my mom, and he's telling her about some issues that have been going on in his workplace. It was kind of sending me in a spiral because he was telling her how he was basically going to lose his job. So my dad loses his job. For whatever reason, we tend to block out trauma, so I don't really remember why he lost his job. Once he lost his job, he couldn't pay for the mortgage, he didn't have enough money saved up to pay for the bills. So the house that we were living at the time, I was living there ever since I was 4 years old, so it was basically the house that I grew up in. Having to hear that we're gonna have to move out and find somewhere new to live, it was kind of devastating because I had a lot of memories in that house. So it was really hard having to hear that we weren't able to afford to live in that house anymore. So this is when I began spiraling, and I was literally staying in my room, doing nothing. Normal stuff that I would always do, but you know, I was actually sad when I was doing it. So it was like, you know, that was the only difference. I tell myself, you know, it's time to snap out of it. You can't be sad over things that are happening. Just try to find something to distract yourself. And this was around the time that James Charles started emerging. Boys in beauty was something that was new, but it was on the rise. I was like, like that seems kind of cool. Which is weird that I thought like that because in the past, I had a boyfriend when I was like 14, 15. Girl. It was my first boyfriend and we were in theater together. And I remember one afternoon before rehearsal, like the girls took him backstage and they did his makeup. I remember looking at him with like his makeup done and I was like,
that's a sissy.
Sis, you're already gay. Why do you need to wear makeup? Like, girl, you're just doing the most. Can you say internalized homophobia? He came out on stage wearing like a full face of makeup. So he came out and I was like, why are you wearing makeup? You're already gay, you don't need to do all of that. We get it, you're gay. So it was totally strange that I was looking at James Charles and being like, that's kind of cool. My very first makeup products were stolen or whatever. Let me know if you guys want a story time on that because girl, when I tell you, I've been through it. I don't condone stealing. So I would go to like drugstores and Walmart, and whenever I saw a cosmetic item that little old me, Carlos, wanted, I was like, I don't got money, so let me put this in my pocket. Which I don't encourage, it's not a good thing. Stealing will get you in lots of trouble. So around this time, I downloaded the app Periscope, and I was periscoping literally like every night at like 2, 3 in the morning when my parents were asleep. And this is when I kind of started to play around with makeup. And I literally had no money. I had a job, but you know, saving up money was not a concept in my young teenage mind. I would get paychecks and blow them on everything that I wanted. So I would go out with friends, buy new clothes, buy food, you know, do normal stuff that a 16-year-old does with money. I would look after kids after school and like help them with homework and stuff like that with a few of my other friends. It being a job through the school, I didn't really have money saved up for the summer. I would have to ask my parents for money. Since my dad was losing his job, I couldn't ask my parents for money. So anyways, I started doing my makeup on Periscope really late at night because I didn't really want my parents to see it. I would do my makeup and all the kids would gag, they would live for me. I think my most views were like 500 views. So I was like, this is kind of popping and people live for me. So I was like, this is kind of sickening. I was living getting this attention. It was kind of like a distraction from things that were going on at home. Like I said before, this was around the time that I was watching James Charles and Manny MUA and Patrick Starr, and I was seeing the success that they were having with being boys in beauty and doing Instagram and doing tutorials and stuff like that. So I was like, So I kept going live on Periscope, and the more I went live, the more people would watch, and the more that would distract me and kind of give me a little world to escape to out of the world that I was actually living in. So it's around August and we get our eviction notice and we're like, what am? We actually gotta move out. This is real. We look for new places to live, and with my mom being the only one working, our income wasn't super high, so we couldn't afford to live somewhere nice. Literally, we were living in a single wide roach infested trailer. I was in this little itty bitty room. It was like my own little world. I was literally in that little room doing my makeup, going on Periscope, escaping from my reality. It gets to a point where we can't even afford to live in that little itty bitty crappy trailer anymore. So my parents were kind of like, what are we gonna do? My parents' friends reach out to us and they're like, hey, we know that you guys are going through like a really rough time. We would love to extend a hand and help you guys out in any way that we can. My parents were kind of like, cool. Let us stay with you for a little bit until we can find somewhere new to live. So we go from this itty bitty trailer to sharing a house with this guy, his wife, and their kid. So basically it was 2 families living in a house. It wasn't a very big house at that, but we were still grateful for an opportunity for my parents to land back on their feet. So throughout all of this, I'm going live on Periscope. One night, this person comments, why don't you start an Instagram for your makeup? And I was like, why don't I start an Instagram for my makeup? My first makeup post ever, I remember it was literally like a picture of like right here, just my lips, and I was like posing to the max. You know how us divas do. So I just kind of kept the ball rolling, posting on Instagram, going live on Periscope, you know, promoting my social media here and there, doing, you know, the most, doing the maximum, if you will. Fast forward a little bit, my dad's old job decided to rehire him. They were able to save up a little bit of money and we were eventually able to move out of this family's home back to the single wide roach infested trailer. I was happy that I didn't have to share a home with strangers. I didn't know them. My parents knew them, but I didn't know them. My dad has his job back and they are able to save up more money, and eventually we move into the apartment where I'm living at now. There's going to be other people that are going through the same things that you're going through, so it's super important to put it out there and be vulnerable and let your voice be heard, because you never know who you might help, if you might inspire others, if you might help others. I always aspire to inspire. Fast forward on my social media to when I hit 2,000 followers. I think it was like 2017 or 2018. I'm not too clear. My friend Zach actually invited me to fly out to LA and go to the Anastasia Beverly Hills party. It was sickening. It was a blur. Anastasia. But it was sickening. Getting to know people, making connections at these events, that's what really catapulted me forward in the beauty industry. So when I get back from LA, I have like 7,000, 8,000 followers. So I was like, bitch, I'm so close to 10K. I gotta kick it into high gear. I gotta do the damn thing and actually create content and do this whole social media thing. I quickly reached 10K and that was pretty sickening. I was like, girl, we made it, girl. Once you hit 10K, I feel like everything just goes up from there. I was at 10K on Instagram for a few months. Sometimes you just get a little too caught up in whatever may be going on in your life. Breaks happen. I started posting a little more regularly here and there, you know, still being a little sporadic, trying to get back into the groove of things. Social media is a very fickle thing. Once you've got the ball rolling, you have to keep the ball rolling. You can't let it stop. You can't let the ball drop. You have, look at me rapping and shit. You have to take what you're given and run with it. I took the little bit that I was given and I started jogging with it instead of running. I definitely could have been a little more successful on social media if I didn't procrastinate so much and I wasn't so lazy and I actually applied myself. But I digress. I've always wanted to start my YouTube because literally everyone on my Instagram has been asking me when I'm gonna start a YouTube. So I'm like, oh, you know, I'll start it soon when I have like equipment, a camera, and like a backdrop and like a studio like to film in. I'm literally in a corner in my room, filming on my phone, doing the damn thing. After the brow search, I was like, you know what? This is my time. I can't have any more excuses, because being on Instagram is kind of like window shopping. So you see the outside, but you don't really get to know more about the person, or in this instance, like the clothes or the outfit or whatever. I feel like a lot of us struggle with procrastinating, but once you apply yourself and actually get yourself on like a schedule and you get the ball rolling, then you'll get used to the swing of things. So yeah, that's basically the story about how I got started into makeup. It was kind of like my little escape from the harsh reality that was going on around me. I'm here because my parents believed in me. I'm here because random people on the internet that I've never met believe in me. I'm here because my friends believe in me. I'm here because a few brands believe in me. I know you guys hear this from literally like every YouTuber, but it's so true. Without you guys, none of us would be where we are right now. So I'm very grateful for each and every single one of you that comment, each and every single one of you that like the videos, that subscribe, that follow me on Instagram. Words cannot begin to describe how thankful and how appreciative I am for you guys giving me a platform and allowing me to express myself through my true passion, makeup artistry. The rest is history waiting to be written. Thank you divas so much for tuning into today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you divas think. Let me know what you want to see. Don't forget to tune in for the next video. I will talk to you divas later. Oh my god, I thought it was light out. I was like, bitch, what time is it?